her car is getting some new parts, so they can assemble it together. Wow, is this what they call a date? No, pizza and music. That's the real combo for a date. Just as Annie agreed, her friend rushed over, shouting, "There's a whole pack of reporters outside the school, help." Annie's princess status was outed. Talk about a grand entrance. Grandma showed up at school like a superhero to save the day, but Annie was now in full O&O mode. Anna's news as a country's princess was everywhere. Even her family background got the celebrity treatment. Her friend gleefully told Annie that she was the new school star everyone wanted selfies. But Annie was like, no, not in the mood. Her friend kept insisting Annie be on her radio show, and Annie just nodded along, sure, Saturday it is. And with that, her friend happily left, but Annie had no grand ambitions in mind. All she wanted was to graduate peacefully, asking old Joe, "Can I just drop the princess gig?" With old Joe's pep talk, Annie bucked up, practicing her royal etiquette like there was a final exam coming up. Annie, dressed in a classy blue gown, walked cautiously, shaking hands with nobles like she was on a runway. When the butler beckoned her to sit, she made a grand entrance, but the real test had just begun. Annie fiddled with the utensils out of boredom. Suddenly, she set the table on fire and panicked, flinging the flame at the guest next to her. Talk about a fire queen. In a frenzy, she dunked the gas arm in an ice bucket like it was her fire extinguisher. Don't be embarrassed. That unexpected little mishap turned her dinner into a chaotic yet hilarious comedy show. In the midst of polite chuckles, Annie snuck home, but to her surprise, Grandma didn't give her a scolding. Instead, she picked up on Anna's stress and decided to cancel all activities. She switched to casual clothes for a day of normal life with Annie talk about a royal escape room. Grandma ditched her queen persona to sing with Annie, reveling in pure joy. By the beach, Grandma reminisced her carefree youth like an old movie. Fate made her queen, yet power frequently arrives with the accompanying cost of lost freedom. Annie listened half understandingly, but all she really wanted was for Grandma to try her corn dog. But soon, Anna's identity was spilling everywhere, making her the new darling of the campus. Girls who used to bully her suddenly claimed they were besties. What a plot twist. Even her crush dumped his girlfriend to chat up Annie. Anna's brain short-circuited with love, and she agreed immediately, rushing to find Mike. She told Mike she had to reschedule Saturday's hangout because she was going on a date with her crush. Mike said it was fine, but his face was like he had just taken a cold shower. Back home, Annie was ecstatic, sharing her day as adventurous while fantasizing about kissing her crush. She imagined how enchanting it would be to kiss her beloved, with her legs involuntarily lifting high, just like in those old films. Saturday arrived, and Annie met her crush at the beach, where the tension was as thick as peanut butter. But just as she was lost in her crush's arms, a swarm of reporters crashed the beach party. Her crush pulled Annie away from the reporters, leading them into a little shed to talk about a secret date. In the small room, the atmosphere became deliciously awkward. Our hero leaned in for a passionate kiss, but Annie tried to elegantly lift her leg, only to trip over a fishing net. Their kiss was heartbreakingly interrupted. Poor timing. After a while, the crush thought the reporters had cleared out and suggested they move to a more romantic spot. They exited the shed, only to find the reporters had surrounded them. Time to bolt. He firmly held on to Anna's escaping form and kissed her in front of everyone. What a public secret moment. At that very moment, Annie truly comprehended that her long-admired male god was merely a jerk who would stop at nothing to gain fame. In a panic, Annie ran off, desperately wanting to change her outfit. She ran into the girls who used to bully her, but surprisingly, they became her lookouts. Just as Annie felt a glimmer of hope, these girls called the reporters and swung open the dressing room door. Annie cried out, "I didn't want all this attention. I just wanted a normal life." The next day, The paper splashed her wild antics across the front page, but Grandma didn't reprimand her. Was she secretly giving her special treatment? She said, as a royal, one must take responsibility for their actions, much like how you own up to a brawl. Each person has their own destiny. Annie realized her actions brought shame to her family. It disappointed Grandma, who had always cared for her, leaving Annie speechless and sad as she walked away. But hey there, if you truly enjoyed Anna's story, make sure not to forget to like and subscribe to us.